Good morning, YouTube. Hopefully that sun's not too hot for you, because it is bright this morning. And I'm headed to work. And figured while I got your all's undivided attention, we'll talk about the next thing in my series of reviews of the modifications I've done to my bobber. And next up on the list is my ODI grips, and that's hot on the tails of the Memphis Shades fairing, the Gauntlet fairing review that I did, and then also my Saddlemen seat, which I'll throw those links up here as well. So let's specifically talk about what these are. These are the ODI Vans Cult Grips. And the biggest reason that I wanted to find myself some new grips is really the comfort of the stock grips on this bike. It's horrible. And they're not very sticky. And for my hand size, you know, I don't have super big hands, but for my hand size, they just felt weird. And every time I would ride long distances, you know, I'd immediately start getting fatigue in my throttle hand. You know, the other hand would be fine because I could take it off and, like, you know, wiggle it around and whatever. But, you know, the throttle hand just would get tired. And I looked at, you know, the kind of the diameter of the grip. I did a bunch of little grip tests, and I was like, I think this has a lot more to do with my grip than anything else. So I decided to swap out the grips. I did a bunch of research before I did it. I asked a whole bunch of people what they recommend, and a lot of them were just as chunky as the stock grips. You know, they may have been a little bit more comfortable. They may have had like the gel inserts or the gel padding, etc., etc., but largely they just all kind of looked bulky. You know, whether I'm doing Kuryakin, you know, or Avon grips, they all just kind of looked, I don't know, too big and bulky. I didn't want that. So I stumbled across a video that the Bearded Bobber did on installing his ODI Vans Cult Grips, and I said, maybe I'll go look at those. So I looked at those, did some measurements, and they were cheap enough for me to experiment with, and if I didn't like them, you know, I was out $20, because that's all they were 20 bucks. So I got them in. I did a installation video on those, which I'll also link, but you know, they were really easy to put on, and now I got them on, and I love these suckers. I would say that it's, you know, they're one of my favorite things that I've done, you know, on the bike, because they've helped so much. It's insane how much they have helped my rider fatigue when I'm out, you know, riding for a while. And they look kind of great, and they're, you know, a kind of American classic look. They're you know, they've got the Vans kind of waffle cone, you know, so they're kind of neat looking. And I chose gum. I thought gum would match my seat well. It really does not, so I'll probably get a different pair at some point in time. But I don't know, I'm kind of falling in love with the color. But they are awesome. They're super tacky, which is one of those great things that if you're out putting down lots of miles, for you to just kind of, you know, barely have some grip on, you know, to be able to control the bike. And, you know, on the throttle side, they're, you know, it's skinny enough. It reminds me a lot of when I had a sport bike. You know, sport bike throttles are relatively skinny, and these are thin enough that when I am really ripping, you know, I can do a pencil grip on it when I want to really rip into the twisties. So I like that about them. You know, when you install them though, they don't just slap on. You got to monkey with them a bit, especially if you're using the bar end mirrors like I am, because they're closed-ended. So you have to kind of cut the end away so that they slide, or so that your bar end mirrors slide in without any issue. So, but regardless, I like them. I 1 bajillion% approve of them as great aftermarket grips. They're inexpensive. So if you put them on and you don't really like them, you know, whatever, you're out $20. So anyway, 2 thumbs up. They have tremendously helped my comfort and my rider fatigue. So anyway, that's my review of these ODI Vans grips. If you liked it, it was helpful, and you want to see more, do the whole subscribey, bell ringy, likey thing, and we'll see you when we do the next one. I think the next one, what we may do is actually, the next one we're going to do is on my Tier 1 tuner. So, you know, come back for that one, because that one's going to be a good one. I really love this Tier 1 tuner. So anyway, I'll talk at you later. Peace.